Welcome everyone to another entry of my director's diary, and this is week 3, day 1. Woo! I mean, we've made it this far. You've made it this far. Thank you for continuing on this journey of directing your first play. And this week we have incredible kind of entry into week 3, day 1, where again we have a challenge of, actor scripts management alongside, again, actors' worries and anxieties and how to deal with that. So we started the day usually again, same as my 10 to 10:30 is the time for these actors to have their warm-ups and their meditation. But once again, you find that actors prefer to use that as a chance to either turn up a little bit behind or do something, maybe more chilling. But that is their time, so they are, I guess, entitled to that. So thankfully there weren't, too many late. I think the latest was like 6 past 10. I do log this. Um, and but the big challenge came when the same actor that was late for the costume fitting. You may remember week 2, day 5. This time round, the actor forgot their script. They forgot their script at home. So they started with, oh, does the stage management have a spare script? And of course, people do forget things. But when things start piling up, you start to think, is it you? So again, don't let it fly. Let them know it's not really acceptable, but also you don't want to scold and chide them. But made it clear that, we are working on a few scenes that you're not in. And luckily for them, the other actor had also forgotten their script hit the rehearsal room. So they printed off a new script. So there was two scripts, so a spare script. So they were able to use that. So anyway, put that to one side and I started the week with again, I talked about, reminding them about a singular directorial vision. So the writer was not in the room. I reminded them that if there's any issues that they have, it's best they come to me. Do not be afraid to remind them that you are at the helm of this ship. People are really in this process sometimes testing your leadership. It's unfortunate, but that's the case. So do not be afraid to say, don't be tempted to try seek help elsewhere with your worries, right? Don't have secret conversations with the writer. Come to me with any worries you have about your character and focus on your character and don't try to impose any ideas on other people's characters. So I started letting them know that. Now, of course, in week 1, that was free, everyone's available, but this is the time where you start to remind them we need a singular directorial artistic vision. And that's something I made clear. I also told them what the plan for the week was, reminded them that we were going to have that stagger on Friday afternoon, reminded them that we're working towards, bringing in costumes and props later on, the reality of limited resources. And we just kept working on that. So we got up revisiting. We're starting now. You're in week 3, day 1. So you're revisiting your scenes to do more deeper character and scene work. And if you remember, that in one of our sessions, where we talk about week 3, right? I believe it will be session 1 is preparation, session 2 is blocking, and then session 3 will be week 3. So in week 3 um we session 3 we talk about how week 3 is pivotal in revisiting your scenes. It's okay to leave some of the skeleton blocking that you had. You don't have to stick to it. The actors will remind you, oh, you told me to move there, that's why I'm moving there. All right, so don't worry about that. The idea is that you come back and really stop and start. Now you can really go, no, 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 no. What do you mean by that? So what I did was, and this is something you can use, is we start, go back to the scene, right? And reread it. And I'd set them homework, right? Over the weekend. So Friday, set them homework and say, I need you to look at your objective, your obstacle, and your tactic. What do you want? Who or what is getting in the way of you getting what you want? And what techniques or tactic or things do you use to get what you want. So I told them that face to face. One actor wasn't present, so I sent it as an email on Saturday and gave them the weekend to figure that out. And I told them focus from scene 1 to 3. That's what we're focusing on. So came in, scene 1, we read it, then we broke it down with the 3 actors in that scene. What was your objective? Obstacle, tactic. There was an actor who had done it differently. They talked about different kind of conversations around how they deal with it, and I had to kind of introduce them to this way of working. And it's clearly the purpose of this is just so that when they enter a scene, they're coming in with some sort of want. When I come into my house, I'm coming in to rest. I need to go toilet. My obstacle, someone's already there, or someone's stopping me from making my tea. Tactic I use, I could sweeten them, I could be angry at them, I could scold them, whatever. So that's the idea, right? So we work through that. We may revisit the scene, reading it again with those objectives, obstacle tactics in mind. And then we come back and we get them up, right, and revisit this blocking. So we do that, and in the process now is just stopping and starting, right? Even right from the top, like, whoa, okay, how did we get there, right? How do we start the scene? Where have you just come from? What were you trying to do there? Ah, you want to affect it. So again, it's still deeper work than week 2, but you're not quite trying to go in depth because you've still got next week and you've got the working the previews and that kind of thing. So, and you don't want to be too stuck on a scene that you don't work on the other scenes. So you keep an eye on that because I've got 3 scenes to work throughout the whole day, right? So made sure I did that. Found possible challenges around some actors seeming a bit unclear about what they were doing. You know, sometimes actors talk around the houses, and the idea is if you know what the optimum objective and obstacle and tactic is, you can direct them into that direction, right? You can say maybe they want to get their mother's love. Okay, maybe that's what they want. But the mother is unwilling to love anyone. Okay, so they use guilt or shame. Okay. And there's evidence of that in the text. You use the text to go, there's evidence of that. They say this. So that's something you have to be aware of. Um, be also willing to kind of challenge them a little bit and go, I don't know if it's that. Be willing to also open up and go, oh, you know what? You're right. I was wrong. I gave you a bum note. I misdirected you there. And keeping an eye on time, of course, but stage management is helping you at the same time. So that's something for you to really think deeply about as you enter that first session of week 1, and then dealing with the actor that forgot their script and them potentially feeling as if they're being punished because their scene isn't coming to later on. And really, they only had 30 minutes with me, but that wasn't a punishment. But that's also an understanding that this is an opportunity for you to look at your lines and also learn that you can't make those kind of school kid errors. So that's week 3, day 1. We had you know, new challenges around decisions of those photos that we took. Remember I talked about on Friday. They came back in conversations around that. We also had challenges around what we're going to do the next few days, different people coming in and that kind of thing. So this week is very packed. We've got movement director coming in twice. We got photographers, we got marketing people, we got also directors observing. So stay tuned to hear any challenges that are come out of that and how we overcome them. Keep directing. Direct, play, repeat. Really, that is the tagline.